This is CH. Welcome back to your fourth video on HTML5 with CSS3, and I hope you guys are doing well and much better than me because today I started my diet. So it's hard-boiled eggs, celery, yogurt, and oatmeal. Yep, I'm trying to get down to 290, so wish me luck. Alright, well, the show must go on. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about our HTML tags as well as our HTML5 document types. So again, if you're not familiar with HTML, I'm going to go ahead and type the old school HTML tags. Actually, they're not old school because they're going to be on HTML5 and XHTML as well. But this is just the basic HTML structure of any web page. It's going to have our head. We're going to close this out. And in between our head tags, this is where all of the stuff that we want the browser to recognize go. So everything that's going to go underneath the hood of our car. And then in our body tags, this pretty much is the car. This is what the viewer gets to see. Everything in our body tag is what is going to be displayed in a web page. And then our head tag is, I got a text message. Poker. Can't play poker night. Okay, so in between our head tag, this is where everything that we want our browser to render. So we can put like our title in here. We'll call it Becoming a Legend. A legend, and let's close out that title. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, we got our HTML opening tag, our HTML closing tag, we got our body tags right here where all of our content's going to go, and then our head tag is going to go right here. Okay, so back in the day, or not back in the day, but since about 1999, this is the document type you would see for an XHTML tag right here. I just copied and pasted that over from my external browser. But these days are over because HTML5 is much more compatible for devices, and these devices include all major browsers such as Opera, Firefox, Safari, Internet Explorer, as well as Androids, iPhones, iPads, tablets, etc. That's pretty much why HTML5 is so popular. It's because it's compatible with smartphones, because everybody and their brother has smartphones nowadays, even little kids, which kind of blows my mind. But here's how we're going to document it in HTML5 to make this web page more universal on our smartphones as well as those other devices that we talked about. We're going to go ahead and grab this. I'll just type it in. So this could be, I believe it could be lowercase. Even though it might be considered bad practice, I will keep it uppercase. And it's HTML right there. If you need to make a, remember we got the comment in HTML that we learned. This can be either upper or lowercase. But every time I look at somebody else's website and I look at their document type, it's always been uppercase. So I don't know if that's good etiquette or bad etiquette. Maybe it's just the way things are. Nobody questions them. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, just know that this is how we declare our HTML5 document type. Okay, and what else do we want to do? We want to go ahead and we need to create another attribute inside our HTML tag. So before you could just close it out right there, but in HTML5 we need to let the browser know what language we're going to be speaking. And since English is not only the language that I want my website to be in, it's pretty much the world's business language at this point. So I think most people in most countries at this point can speak English and look at websites in English. I don't want to stereotype or judge anybody, but that's just kind of how I have to assume my target audience is going to be, is people that read English. So, and if you're another language, go track down the acronym and plug in your acronym for your language code right there. But I definitely want English, and I'd imagine you would too. Okay, so there's something else that I want to put in between my head tags with my title, and that is my meta character set, and our acronym for that is character sets equals UTF-8. And this again is just the most universal set of characters pretty much out there at this time, and today is September 4th 2012. And what that means is, like, look at all of the buttons on your keyboard. I mean, you could have a capitalized A, you could have a lowercase a, you could have a pound sign, you could have a money sign. This is going to help represent all of these buttons on our keyboard so they make sense just universally. Like there's a UTF, don't write this down, but there's a UTF, I think UTF 16 or UTF 32, which is kind of the older norm. Yeah, 16 and 32. But don't focus on that right now. So what we did, if you guys followed along, is we set up a perfect HTML5 document type. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I don't really need that comment. If you need it for a point of reference, feel free to keep it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this, and let's go ahead and type something in here. We'll just type, this is our first web page in HTML5. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go back to our file that's in our root folder, and let's open this up with a browser. And I'll just click Safari. Okay, perfect. Well, it opened up in an external browser. Let me go ahead and grab it, bring it over there. All right, guys, this is our first web page in HTML5. So obviously Safari was going to render it correctly because Safari is like one of the biggest punchers in terms of web browsers. But it's pretty safe to say that this would run on any device at this point because we have the correct English, we have the correct doc type, and we have the correct character set. So hopefully this made sense to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for the time being, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video where we talk about more HTML5 tags. All right, guys.